bless everyone out there in Radio Land. This is Barry and Karen coming to you from Race and Marriage Ministries and Dare to Be Different. That's why I got mixed up. All right, y'all have to excuse us. It's been a minute, so we thank God for y'all listening to us. We're not doing this live tonight. This is a pre-recorded podcast, and we will have it on our uploaded to our Twitch so that other people on Twitch will be able to see it. So if you want to go check it out there, we'll let you know at the end of the podcast how you can be able to see it. And like I said, I'm Barry. This is Karen.
Hey, hello everyone.
Yeah, we're here once again. So well, babe, tonight we're gonna just kind of talk to the people. We're not gonna do anything special tonight because we did have a lesson we did on it's time to fight. And as soon as we did that lesson, the fight was on.
Yeah. And what the word say about that? You know, after you preach, well, I don't know if the word said, it might just be a cliche. I think it might be a cliche, huh?
No. Well, I know one thing the word says is that when I know Jesus in one of his parables was talking about the parable of the sower. They say that one of the sowers was the one that heard the word and they with joy received, but when tribulation come because of the word's sake, they fall away. Because when and for the word's sake. So a lot of times the enemy would try to come and try to take that word out of your heart or try to make you believe that what you spoke about wasn't real.
Yeah.
So he'll fight you based on that word. So that's what happened.
Yeah, especially after you get through ministering and teaching and preaching to somebody.
Yeah.
And then look like right after that you be tested about the same thing you just taught to somebody else. And somebody was going through what you was teaching, and then here come look like a test or trial or something, and I'm like, this keep happening.
Yeah, it keeps.
So I'm like, so this one of them cases where we being tested, and I'm like,
yeah,
God, what's going on?
Yeah, it's every single time that you minister a word, especially, and we were ministering to somebody. That's the reason why.
Yeah.
Because the last time we did too, it happened.
Yeah.
So I guess we just kind of have to be wise and know that this is what's gonna happen and get ready for it.
Yeah. Because I hear a lot of people after they preach and look like what they preach don't look like. Here come the test, you know,
here it comes.
To see if you're gonna practice what you're preaching.
That's right.
So that, you know, you have to be first partaker. You know, they always say, you know, the word hits.
Yeah.
You first, so
yeah.
And I mean, right after we could be to encourage somebody and did everything and telling everybody what to do, and then I'm like, it looked like it just turned right back on us. I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah, and it will happen like that. So every single time that it happens, you know, we do go through a fallout period.
I call it a test.
Yeah, we go through that.
We get tested.
And then we kind of, you know,
we
believe me, we can't do anything in that state. Usually when like that, we just kind of just hold off on doing a whole lot of stuff. Like we don't podcast, we don't stream, we don't do none of that stuff, because we don't. Even though we want you to see the realness that we have, because we want you to not think that we're fake, you know, that we're just too smiling. Because see all the smiling pictures at the beginning of this thing, that was through all the hell that we done went through.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Most of them pictures that we took, that you see right now in the beginning of our slideshow, was during the time we went through all that.
Yeah.
Because there was times in our lives when we did have peace. And the times when we did have the peace, we did, you know,
we took pictures.
We took pictures. So
we had our date nights.
Yeah, we had
fun,
a lot of those was date night pictures.
Yeah.
We took them before we went.
Before we went to church or something.
Yeah, before we went to church or left the house. We didn't have any pictures of ourselves together. And I think the last pictures we had of ourselves, I was a whole lot smaller, And I wouldn't want to show you that picture. That picture was horrible.
No, but I have it.
Yeah, she got it, but I was bad because like I shared before. I have the testimony on it. I shared before about when I was diagnosed with Crohn's and God healed me from it. During that time, I wasn't able to gain any weight, and I was like 135 pounds and weighing a 28. And that was this big. I was small, man. I looked at like death walking, and I didn't think I looked that bad until I saw myself in the picture, and I was like, man. Yeah. It was really taking a toll on me, and so I thank God He healed me, and as you can see, I'm healthy.
Yeah, I'm gonna show y'all that testimony one of these times.
Yeah, because one thing, and then I've gotten older too, and so my age kind of caught up with me, and it kind of runs in the family. So I'm kind of staying away from us getting getting too heavy. Yeah. But the thing is, our whole goal is to be able to minister to you and to share with you what God has done with us. And every time we get over a hurdle, we share it. And we may not talk to you about the details of why or what happened, because that's really not important.
No.
She finna say something crazy. Watch.
Oh, yeah. Because it's
yeah, it really ain't. But
none of your business.
Well, the thing is that there are certain things that we would like to share.
Yeah,
like I didn't mind sharing with you about when I was addicted to pornography, because there was a point to it. And I was trying to share that because I wanted you to be able to relate to the fact that I've been there and I understand where you're at. Yeah. But there are just certain things that
I don't care to share.
Yeah, that's her favorite phrase. She don't care to share. But
no,
now here's the funny thing. We was in when they Celebrate Recovery training, that was the biggest thing they said. They would tell you when you said something, because they do it in their meetings. When you would share stuff, they would say, thank you for sharing. Yeah. And so we did my issue was my mother. I had a lot of issues with my mother, and I talked about that a lot. At one particular time, they kind of looked at me funny because I told her how I really felt about her, and they wasn't ready for that, because they didn't know I had that kind of feeling at the time, because I went through a lot with my mother, and I love my mother. My mother was a hard woman to me, because my brother was mentally, he's still living. He is. He's mentally disabled. He's the one that's next to me. And we fought constantly. So I had a lot of persecution. I could say persecution. It felt like it. From him, because of his acts. He had these fits where he want to fight. And I'm the closest one. If I didn't want to fight me. But I had to fight him back, because, I didn't want him to beat me up, So I'm defending myself. And there have been times where she would whoop me just because of the simple fact that I fought him. And she think I'm just supposed to just let him hit me and just go on. Well, he don't just do that. He didn't just do that. He didn't just hit me and just walk away because I didn't fight back. He kept on until he made me fight. So he wanted me to fight. So I'm like, she don't get that. Yeah. I mean, he's not going to stop. Unless I fight him back, he'll stop. Then he might get a little riled up, and then he'll fight, and we continued doing that till we got in, I think I was 21, and he was like, oh God, this is my same age as you, so he was 26, and he hit me once. I just looked at him and said, man, you know what, we get too old for this. I did this nonsense since we was kids. I was like, man, you know what? We get too old for this, man. We need to stop this. And you know what? He actually just like, well, you know what? He is right. He didn't hit me no more after that. That was it. I mean, he just like he agreed. He was like, you know what? You right. We all get too old for this. I could tell the way he looked. He was like, yeah, man, you right. We need to stop. It was funny. I had never thought he was gonna stop, because he just kept on. I was like, man, I went through preteen, because I was 9, he was 13, and he went through all that from time he turned 13 all the way up to about 19, 20 years old. And I was like, dude, you're too old for that, man. I'm fighting you every kind of big day. I'm like, nah, for all them years, that was enough. But the thing is, I went through a lot with her because of the way that she was. And the way that she was raised, she was raised real hard too. And one thing about it, parents, is the way a lot of, and even my sister, it was so bad to my sister even said that she wasn't gonna raise her kids the way that we were raised. But you know what? None of us was in prison.
No.
None of us had ever been locked up. I went to jail, but it was a holding because I had a ticket. But I mean, as far as me committing murders, we didn't kill nobody. We didn't steal from people. It taught us morals. She taught us how to respect people, how to be respectful to folk, and how to honor people. She taught all that. And my wife's mom was the same way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we come from that generation that. There you go. Come from that generation that they just was like that, but people don't realize that the little stuff that I hear, you go on like what's some in the talk show like
like Dr. Phil and
like that.
Oprah
and all them different things like that. You go on them and these people whining about their kids, they can't make them act right, and they can't. You know what? we have learned that you give your kid all this Ritalin and he just got HEAD and he's hyperactive. No, that fool need to be stomped wrong one good time. Just once. You don't have to do it but once.
Yeah, he need a good spanking.
He need a good spanking. If you give him one good one, just a good one. I mean, you don't have to just abuse the boy or girl or whatever, but you just give them a good punishment. Not taking away their phone, their computer. That's not punishment. I mean, the Bible says for you to use their rod. And some people are against that.
They are.
They are against, and that's why we have shootings in schools. When I was raised up, you get paddled. If you do something, you get paddled at the school, and then you get whooped at home. Now, they don't. When they said that they didn't want you to paddle their kids, it just went sideways. And they'll tell you can't hit me because my mama's gonna come up there and do such and such. And they be ready to fight you over them kids.
Yeah.
And because you hit their child. Well, you need to hit your child. I mean, you need to punish your child and make them mind at home.
Yeah.
So if they mind at home,
you don't spank a child for every little bitty thing. But
major infractions. I mean, like if he do something that warrants them to be punished, yes. But not because you frustrated or you just something. Because I see a lot of young parents do this.
Oh yeah,
they get mad and whip the child because and we had this problem with the young ones in our lives, and stuff will say, "Hey man, don't whip that child just because you mad." Yeah,
they get frustrated, and then you want to chastise your child, and you want to give them a spanking because they frustrated you, and did all this stuff. But then when it's really needed, you don't do it. You just do it because they didn't. Because you upset and you angry and you frustrated and you feeling all outraged. Now you want to spank them. That's not the time.
No.
Because you sending the wrong message. But I mean, when it's just necessary, like my mom would do with us. Oh yeah, she didn't spare the rod.
No.
The sister used the rod. She believed in the rod.
Yeah, she did. It wasn't the kind that parted the Red Sea. It was the kind that parted your mind. That's the kind.
She would make us go outside and pick a switch.
Yeah.
And so I would, me, I always had to be slick little kid, and I always try to, I try to outthink my mom. So she said, "You go out there and get a switch," and I go to that tree. So them little flexible ones, they not gonna break. So I said, I need to find one that she gonna hit me 2-3 times. It's gonna break. Yeah. So I would go find.
Kind of something flimsy or something.
Yeah. So
but what the amazing part about it, the lady that raised me, and honestly, there was a lady. The only idea of a grandmother where I had this lady that used to raise us, and her name was Georgia Vienna Charles was her name, and called her Nana. That was a nickname, Nana. I don't know where they get Nana from because ain't no Vienna, I guess. Nana Vienna, yeah, Vienna was her name. So Georgia Vienna Charles and I, what was she? I still used to remember the phone number she had. So it was 838-4389. That was it. Yeah, no, I think no. Yeah, that was I think it was a number. Yeah, 4389. So anyway, she used to live not too far from where we used to live when we got married. She used to live right down the street from where my wife used to live when we got married. And so the house for a while, it's a Family Dollar on that plot, on that property, but the house stood for a long time before they tore it down. And she was like in her 70s. And this woman had raised my dad. She was a friend of my dad's family. And she raised my dad's family kids and raised me. And I was the only, she knew him by Sambo. That was his nickname, Sambo. And William Craig was his name. So they called him Sambo. Sambo was like she loved him. And she loved it so much, she loved me because she found out I was a Craig. Oh man, she loved me. And she raised me, and she basically kept me, really, because because my mom had a bad relationship with my aunt and all them on my dad's side. That's a story in all itself. But she ended up kind of raising me. She was the only idea of a grandmother I ever had, because I never knew my grandmother. My grandmother died right when I was born. So, and my sister was the only one saw her. I think maybe my oldest brother might have. But anyway, this woman had a willow tree in the backyard. She'd go get her own switch. She ain't trust me to go get it. And so, but that's not what the podcast is about, punishing your child. No. What is actually, we just was sharing with you, give you a point that there are going to be times when you're going to be tested based on the word. And there are things that's going to come up in your life. And what I'm getting to the point is a lot of people today, they are on couches and they're going to therapists due to the fact that they can't handle stuff.
That's it.
They taking all kind of Valiums and all these different things because they can't handle life.
Yeah.
And life is not easy. I understand that. I'm not saying that it's a easy thing. Life is not easy for anyone. But the thing is that the Bible tells us that he gives us life and that more abundantly. Jesus said he come to give us life and that more abundantly. He didn't come for you to just live just haphazardly or just live just by your bootstraps.
Undisciplined lifestyle.
Yeah, just whatever way and doing whatever you want, whenever
anything
you want.
Go with. I'm just doing me.
Yeah, that's the phrase now. I'm doing me. You do you, I do me.
Yeah.
But you know what? If doing you was so wonderful, then you would be okay. But obviously, doing you ain't doing good. Because sometimes I done me and it didn't work for me.
And I done me and it didn't work either.
That's
it didn't work for me and it didn't work for him and it sure wasn't working for the Lord.
No, because even in marriage, you can't do you. When we was looking at something, like I say, in the midst of all this, we was looking at something last night where they was talking about being on the love seat. And there was a couple that was teaching this conference and it was talking about being in the love seat. But then you have these two chairs called the me seats, where you have a seat and she has a seat or he has a seat. And you have that's your seat. Nobody can sit in your seat. And you just about you and about what you think and about how you feel and about what
trying to handle your problems on your own.
And that's what when I looked at that, she was kind of asleep when I think you did kind of see that one. Yeah,
I see all of it.
So that particular one kind of got my attention because I said that's what we've been doing.
Yeah,
we would get the me seats, and we forget about coming together in the love seat.
Yeah.
And God wants you to walk. One thing about love, it shows unity. Because if you really love somebody, you will want to be around them.
Yeah. You
will want to spend time with them. You want to fellowship with them more. And we say that we love God, but we don't want to be around God. We want him only when we need something from him.
That's it.
But we don't want him just because of him. Now, if I would treated my wife like that, we wouldn't be together long. If I only was dealt with her only when I wanted something from her,
right,
we wouldn't have no relationship.
Yeah, that's right.
And
that's it.
And so that's why a lot of people figure, well, that's how I'm gonna do God. Well, God doesn't want to be treated like some second fiddle person. He don't want to be second to nobody.
Yeah.
and you treat him like he's a side piece.
Yeah, like a part-time lover and
Yeah.
a full-time fool.
Yeah. you can't do God like a
No,
side
you-
piece.
you
God's
can't.
not a side chick. He's not a side dude.
No, and you can't just only be around God for the fishes and the loaves.
Yeah, for what he can do.
Good for you.
And that's funny you say that, because that's what that's the kind of quote where Jesus came to him when they was seeking after him. He said, "You seek after me because of the fishes and the loaves, but I'm trying to bring you the word, or trying to show you the Father.
Yeah.
But you seeking me for stuff."
That's it.
The only reason why they were chasing him is because he was multiplying bread and fish, and they were hungry, and they was wanting to come behind him because of it, because he was able to do these things for them. And that's what a lot of people do. They in it for just for what they can get out of it.
Exactly.
And so you have to ask yourself, why do I go to church? Why did I get married? Why do I have a family? Why am I on this job? Is it because of the purposes that God has for me, or is it because that's something else I just want to do? Some people get married just because, you know, they don't have any other source, so they figure, well, you know, why not? Let's get married. You put your money with mine, and now we was talking about that too.
Yeah,
the me seats.
For convenience.
Yeah.
You know, because I need help.
Yeah.
So he makes, you know, let's say, hey, he make good money. I'm struggling.
Yeah.
So hey, I need some help.
Yeah.
So hey, I'm gonna get with him because he, you know, he can help me out, pay
Yeah.
this light, gas, and water, and this rent. You know, and I'm in over my head with all these credit card debts and all
Yeah.
this bill. So you'd be surprised how people don't marry for love, because I love you.
Yeah.
So guess what? We've been tested and tried. Everything that I said I do too. I was tested for better, for worse.
Yeah.
Leaving that out.
Yeah.
Right now.
Now that part we living out.
Richer for poor.
We done that one.
I've been tested and tried. I lived that out. It was time where he couldn't work.
Yeah.
I had to get on the grind. So sickness and health, better for worse, richer for poor.
Yeah.
We live that out. So yeah, you can sit there and say, I do. Okay, that the tests and trials gonna come, and you gonna see if you do.
Yeah, maybe we need to switch to that one.
Yeah, so you gonna see if you gonna see if you do.
Yeah, you
because
gonna see
it's
if
gonna
you do.
come. Because if he lose his job and she lose his job, he got sick. I couldn't, and he couldn't work. I had to get, you know, I couldn't bail out.
No.
You know, I didn't marry him for the fishes and the loaves. I had to hang in there, and it was rough, but I lived them vows out. I can truly say, you know, he was sick. I had to give him a bath and do everything.
Yeah, I couldn't do a whole lot anyway.
Yeah.
Like I say, because I had a surgery, so and then it required me to, even though it would have been better for me to get up, but I couldn't.
Yeah,
he
was under doctor's care, so he couldn't.
Yeah.
So it wasn't because he was just being lazy and didn't want to go out and, you know, and work and provide. No, that wasn't the case. He was sick and he was under doctor's care. He had surgery and he had been out for long periods of time. So no, I don't have a lazy husband. Let's clarify that.
No.
So
might be a lot of things, but lazy is not one of them.
He wasn't able due to sickness.
No.
And so for richer for poor, it was time when I lost my job. He hung in there till I found something else. So you get to that, want this wonderful wedding, beautiful bridegroom.
Yeah.
You're gonna be tested and tried. Because I said I do, he said I do. Guess what? Okay.
We did. But here's the thing. It's funny though she mentions that, because it's funny that you mentioned it, because every single time one of us lost a job, God would bless the other one with one.
Yeah.
Would double what it would be enough for, like, he would double the pay. Like one time when she ended up losing her job, God blessed me with another job, making double what I made to cover her expenses until she got, until she got another one.
Yeah.
And then I still had the job, and then once we got even, and everything was good, when I lost mine, it happened to her too. So God always fixed it where one of us would increase.
Yeah.
When the other one decreases.
Yeah, it always balanced out.
It always balanced out, God. And it's amazing how he did this over the years, because that's why I say that's how I ended up with the child I have now, because at the time she wasn't working.
Yeah, right.
And so when I say, you know what, I want you over here with me because I'm tired of these thoughts. Come on over here with me. Come over here with me, and that'll keep that in bay.
Yeah.
And honestly, I got her on for 2 reasons. One, because we need the extra income, and it would make it easier for me, and I didn't have to kind of work as hard. And 2, it would keep, like I said, keep a lot down. If the more people that knew that she worked there, the less of problems I would have, or it eliminated it. I had nobody. I told her, I said, man, nobody don't bother me on that job. I had no problem. They already know. I make mention. I tell them I'm married. They know I am, and all of them know she worked there.
Yeah.
So they meet her and night. They see her every day because God fixed it where she got the job where she got. The place where she is, everybody sees her when she come. They come in the hospital.
Yep.
Because she works the front.
And they look for me to speak and smile.
They see they say, well, a lot of them didn't know that was my wife, but they knew she worked the front. And I would tell them and say, yeah, my wife works. They said, what she works? I said, yeah, she, when you come through the door in the morning, that lady sweeping in the front, that's her. Oh yeah, I bet you. I'm sure you have, honey. Sure you have. And then sometimes I just, like today, I'm not gonna lie, I just wasn't feeling it today because I woke up with the wrong spirit, and my wife knew it. And I went to work like that. And for the first maybe hour or two, I don't stay like that long. That's a good thing, because one thing about me, because of my personality type, oh yeah, that's a good lesson. We're gonna do this next week. We learned something about it. If you get a chance, we're going to talk to you about 16 personality types. They had this guy who did this thing on the 16 personality, and we found out our personality types. We're going to do that. They clash. They're opposites.
They clash. We, honest to God, we clash.
Yeah.
And we found out there was a lot of, that's why we were having a lot of problems in our marriage. When we did the study, and I'm like, and we had came to that, we was like, well, I ain't going to teach the whole lesson.
Yeah.
But this a little short. We found out that we were clashing. Our personality, we was like butting heads big time.
Yeah, especially one aspect of my personality.
And in mine.
Yeah.
And that's our biggest thing in our marriage is our personality clashes, because his personality and mine. I'm like, and I'm trying to, no, you need to like me. Like me.
That was a thing. But we can tell you what they are. It's like they're, like I said, 16, and they fall. It's four personality groups, and there are 4 personalities within the group, and they fall within certain kind of things. And like I say, I'm gonna have to pull it up to actually tell you which one, but I can tell you what they are. But they got another one. It's like 30 something, and I don't want to do all that. It's the same thing actually as that, but they simplified it with 16 because it was like 32 of them. And I was like, they said ESGA and JEA and CCA and all this craziness. I don't know what it is. They call it. When we fall under the same kind of personality type, but we're on different ends of it. And mine was closer to one than the other, and I had to retest myself and found out I was totally different, because I noticed I had personality traits like her. So I found out mine is called the consul, which is CONSUL. The consul is the person that's like dualistic. He's a people person, but he's a people person and he believes in balance, and he's more analytical. He's a person he's outgoing. But then he has this other side that's like serious, and he's balanced, and then the other side he just out there, Yeah. So there's a fun side to him.
Yeah. I call him a wild buck.
Yeah.
So here come me.
Defender.
Get that rope.
The defender is the person that's the balanced person. Everything has the balance. It has to make sense.
It has to add up.
It has to add up. So they're the balance, and they usually, if they get with and another one is entertainer. If they get with the entertainer, which is more like your your sanguine type personality, they can pull them in because they're the melancholy type. If you use those type, they're that type. We found out that we're both. Every single test we took, we both were on both ends. She's on one end, I'm on the other one. God showed us all kind of ways we're opposite.
Yeah.
even though we don't believe in the zodiac, when we looked at our sign, before we realized that, we looked at a sign, because I'm born in January, she born in November. And you know, Sagittarius, I think, begins in the end of November all the way to the middle of, they say middle of December, whatever. So, and mine began in the middle of December or the middle of January, which I feel right like near the end. So I'm like, Capricorn, Sagittarius is on opposite ends of the zodiac. And according to now, zodiac is not a evil thing, because God did put it in for signs and times. Because actually they mention them in the Bible, you know, but they don't. But the devil misused them as the reading stars, and they determine our destiny and determine our. No, God determines your destiny, and He determines your way,
right.
Not the stars. But they are there. That's what we mentioned, because it's basically what it is. So anyway, we're on both ends of the. We're opposites. Even in that,
nothing in common.
Nothing in common. Opposites.
Nothing.
So when you got got two people that come together that have total opposites, no matter what you test them with, they are opposites. They don't have nothing in common other than the fact that they both saved.
That's all.
That's it. And half the time we sound like we feel like we ain't sometimes. Yeah, I was like, Lord, are we still saved, Jesus? I mean, talking about we need to repent and come back to God, because we ain't acting like we ain't acting right. So
no, that's when them personality clashes.
Oh man,
but that's when we really find out when they clashing.
Yeah.
When we have when we disagree.
When we disagree.
We disagree,
because
that's when it hits.
the legalistic side of me comes out.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to balance it. Well, actually, it's different with us. Hers is the matter. Hers is the balance. It's the law. It's like the law, and it's like the balance of the law.
It's like we in court.
Yeah, it's the balance of the law is with her.
Yes.
Black and white, you know, right or wrong, up or down, left or right. That's how she is.
No in between.
No in between. No gray area. The gray area with me is my personality. That's because mine is equality. I want it to be equal. I want everybody to be treated fair. So when she hears me say, I don't be treated fair, or I don't think it's right that you treat me like that, or, you know, it's equality. Because I'm looking at the equalness. She's looking at, it's done. This is the way it's done. You did it this way. And then I'm looking at it like, okay, well, this not fair, because I'm getting charged and it's not fair, and I want to be treated fair because I want to say my piece and say my part. So that's where we clash.
Yeah.
Because we both trying to use that same thing at the same time. And when you got two same or the same attraction, they repel one another. If you put two positives of a magnet together, they will push away from each other. But if you put opposites, they will attract.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times I have to shift over to the other one. And so it make it look like I got dual personality, but actually it's the same personality, but it's just both sides of the same coin. And so when I flip over to the right side of it, then I have to deal with it differently, because then she's still black and white, but I'm looking at, okay, now I want to just kind of get this right, because I don't like being like this.
Yeah, because I'm like, what and why and why is this and what why, and I don't understand why and what and this need to make sense. It have to make sense. If it don't make sense, no. And so that's what
we got issues.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, so we found out that the biggest issue. It's our personality. That's what keep us in this.
Yeah, that's what keeps us in
they clash. Big time.
But we're learning how to celebrate our differences. That's one of the lessons that we have to learn is to celebrate our differences, knowing that we are different, and not take advantage of the fact that we're different.
Right.
And not use that as an opportunity to destroy one another, but to try to bring the best out of each other. And that's what it is about when you're dealing with, that's in any relationship. You're going to have some people that you're not going to, clash with. Like I have people that I'm around that I work with that, like, she had that one particular person, like you just, something ain't right about that person. And you just see that, and you just, why is everybody else don't see that? And I'm like, because some people just don't meld with me good. And I'm like, I don't talk much to them.
Yeah.
And that's being a person that everybody knows me being like I am. If I don't talk to them, there's a reason.
Right.
And so, because I mean, it's something about him I just don't sit right.
Cause he's a people person.
Yeah, if I don't talk to you, something ain't right.
Yeah, cause he's more apt to talk and want people around me. And, you know, he let people in. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Honey, I'm gonna discern you, and I'm gonna discern you up and down, up and down, up and down. I'm gonna peg you. I'm gonna pull you apart and everything. and no, I'm gonna. Hey, how you doing? And no, you wanna be my friend? I wanna know why. You wanna be my friend? Why you hang around me for the fish and the loaves? I'm gonna peg you out for you. You come in my life. Now I am friendly. I speak. I talk. I'm kind of cordial. But for my little circle of friends,
I'm even like that. I mean, I'm nice to everybody, and I'm open to everybody. But there are some people that I don't let everybody into my circle. But there are some people that I can I can say, hey, I can relate to that person, and that person I can connect with. But everybody, no, I don't do that. Everybody.
And I'm not antisociable.
No,
but that's just his personality. That's him. I'm while he's talking and speaking, I'm gonna observe and I'm gonna.
So
discern.
If you meet us in public, that's
that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna discern.
Yeah.
I am going to discern. He's speaking and talking. He's friendly. Even when we at church. He gets up and he goes speak to everybody and talking and speaking.
Not everybody. Most of them,
many is, the ones that
the ones I really deal with. Yeah.
And I'm sitting there. I'm just discerning. I'm gonna sit there.
And I may reach out, and talk to somebody I don't know. I'm not like him to get up, just go walk around and conversate. No, she don't.
I'm gonna sit right
she
there.
Sits there until I come back.
With them high heel shoes on, hurt my feet.
Now they'll come to her because they think she's the sweetest thing because she's quiet.
Yeah,
so they think she's the sweetest thing, and they got some of the ones that know her know she can talk like she's doing now. Yeah. They know she can do that. Once she get around you comfortable with, she know you, intense. Then she good with you, and you'll get that. But you ain't finna get that off the cuff. Me, you may not even get that off the cuff, because and sometimes we've been around each other so long. That I have those traits too. That a lot of times she'll talk, and I won't say anything.
So sometimes we'll just switch.
Yeah.
Now because now he'll talk, and then I'm like, oh, I'm not in the mood to talk, but he'll talk and I'll listen. Yeah. And then sometime when I don't know.
You can't show them.
Like now, so that's why I'm doing a lot of talking.
Yeah, we can't help Coke sell these products.
Well, I covered that other part of it. But when I didn't have one of them.
When you had one of them.
So I talk more because it hypes me up. I don't know, and I don't drink coffee, but
she don't. But
if I drink caffeine, it is.
And it's enough in there to just get her going. She'll wind down after a while, and she'll be cutting wood after a while. She'll crash, so she'll be all right.
So y'all could tell the videos when I done had a.
Yeah, you can tell when she didn't have one.
And versus because I wouldn't, he'll be talking.
No, I'll be talking.
He'll be talking.
Yeah, when she hadn't had one, I'm the one that.
I be sitting there, and my eyes be low, look like a.
But the thing is, what we want to share with you, basically, we just want to talk to you, but to let you know that, there is going to be some trials. When you do this work for God, there is going to be a fight. Yes. I want to encourage you and let you know that if you're listening to this, that if you're in ministry, if you're doing anything for God, there's going to be resistance. Yes. He's going to try everything he can to make sure that you fail. Right. But guess what? God says that he's with you. And he's not going to let you fail, because he's never leave you nor forsake you. Right. And he's going to give you the strength and the power to do exactly what needs to be done and give you the victory over it. Right. And so if you notice there are things going on in your life that the enemy is trying to use this as an advantage, sometimes, like we was talking about in the time to fight, he'll use your territory against you. That's it. He'll just build a beachhead right on your territory and fight you from your own land. Right. So what you got to do is that you got to fight him the same way he's fighting you. Fight him on his territory. And go into his camp and take they told me the enemies can't take back what he stole from me. I said that one time. I said, you know what? He can keep it, Because God going to give me more than what he stole.
And he going to give you better.
And better what he stole. He can have that. He can give it to whoever he want to. Because a lot of times you be thankful he stole some of the stuff he took. I mean, because some of that stuff is some of that stuff that he taken has gotten in the way of you doing what needs to be done anyway. Sometimes you just need to have some losses in order to see God bring some provision in your life.
That's it.
And so we've seen that happen.
Yeah, I done seen us. We lost stuff, and we always gotten back better. The Lord always restores to you back. It's always better. Yeah. So that's why now I learned to stop. I always call it going into bereavement or mourning or being all down and hopeless when if I suffer a loss, because I know everything that I got back better. Gotten back better. Sorry about that.
When we had
gotten it back better.
When we was down because we was down for 2 weeks, our computer was in the shop.
Oh yeah, it was in the shop.
In the shop. We did see it for. That's the last thing that we got because we took pretty much a lot of stuff. So we ended up getting them bit one at a time. Every time we go, because the only thing was sitting there was the mics and my rest of the stuff. It was just sitting there. It was funny looking and not seeing that thing. And so for a while, it bothered us a little bit. But I think after about a few days, we got kind of adjusted to it. We was ready though, because we wanted to really get back in the podcast, because we was out a while and our downloads had slowed down. And I said, no, we need to do something, get people back into the interest and let them know that we're still doing this. So that's why we got back into it, and we hit it hard. We might miss yesterday and today. Yes, I think just yesterday was the day.
Yeah, I think we just spent time together yesterday.
Yeah, so we didn't do anything yesterday.
We just
I didn't even stream, and then the enemy tried to fight me in my body. I tried to trying to make me sick. And,
he was a little achy and a little feverish. So
I wasn't feeling good.
So I think we just chilled.
Yeah, so I ended up taking some tonight for this, and then that's why I'm drinking Gatorade and staying hydrated and sweating out this stuff. So right now I'm sweating out whatever I'm sweating out. That should be good, and I thank God. But pray for us that God would continue to do a work in us and with us, and so we won't quit, that we won't fail, and that we won't keep on doing this. And I want you to, speaking of support, we want you to check us out on podbean.com. This is where this podcast is being hosted. This way you can go and find those podcasts. But there's, most importantly, when you go there, there's going to be a page that's going to take you to a patron. You become a patron, which is a person that financially supports us every month for this podcast and for us to do what we call to do. You can go to patron.podbean.com. That'll take you to a page, and you can become a patron. You can support us financially. And also you can go ahead and follow us on these different websites. Follow us on our website, which is under us, and it's embracingmarragetogether.wordpress.com. You can follow us on our website, and also check out the different platforms that we're on. We're also on. We usually do a live one on twitch.tv /embracing_gaming149. That's our place where we do a live podcast. But we also, if you go there, you can see some of the videos that we have done. Those are also on YouTube. But the website pretty much has all of that. You can go there. It has our Twitter, has our Facebook, has our Google Plus, has all these different platforms that we're on, so that we can be able to reach people in all different capacities and all different areas. So we thank God for you joining us tonight. We're going to bring this to a close. We just wanted to talk to you and just share with you some of the things that we have been dealing with, and then encourage you to stay in the fight and don't give up, and let God use you to his greatest potential.
And remember,
amen,
it's time to fight. And how do you fight? In prayer and in the word of God.
Amen. God bless you.
And God keep you is our prayer. Good night.